So I was like running way ahead of schedule and was like, fuck it, I can waste time. And now I'm running on my like latest fuck stoner time. It's fine. I'm really after 9 p.m. type, for being honest. You know, the closer it is to midnight, the better. Um, so yeah, and I'm deep in contemplation lately. Very deep in thought. Full moon is stuff you let go of. But what is it that we are letting go, right? Gotta ask ourselves that. Technically, it was full at 5 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, but full moon day, right? So contemplative, especially because the hunter's full moon, and me realizing that means the, you know, thinking back 3 years ago, this was the full moon, although it was a week later than it is now, right? That just whoop, and it's John Lennon's birthday, and that was like the whole thing. It's the weekend of this full moon 3 years ago. I was hearing things from John Lennon, right, the first time, and now the Hunter's full moon is on John Lennon's birthday. So it's a lot to contemplate for me, and that's why I was like, you know what? I don't want to talk to anybody. I'm tired. I feel it. I kept saying I feel as dead as Frida Kahlo because honestly, she's very lively. I think Coco was a great depiction. Somebody has clearly seen her post mortem, but yeah. Let's roll the ad. Let's. Okay. Let me just. Yeah, that's where we're at. Post apocalyptic bloodshed anxiety. Yep. Let's run it. Okay. Good night. It's very much a tone it the fuck down, kick the fuck back. Here we go. You hear the deep sighs. Hey, source. it's mm, it's a time. It's a vibe. But I just like can't really say anything anymore. I'm so over even thinking sometimes, which is my like preferred Olympic sport. So if my thoughts are starting to piss me off, then there's too many people disrupting them, and I have like no other words on the matter. Because if you're ruining thinking for me, stay out of my head because no one lives here rent free. Let me tell you. And I might say the debt's incurred. Have tabs to this day. Here, here. Okay? What is this medieval? God, I just am such a bard. Yeah, I'm such a bard. I'm so sorry. I'm in like a giggly mood almost. Like, why am I laughing right now? I was very somber right before I started this, and I was actually worried about it. Not like worried about it, but like I sat here like this. It was like listening to this reading, and yeah, like pretty much me. I guess I did rip this bong like 6,000 times just because I knew I was in kind of a somber mood. It's the only way I could describe it. But I wore my bells of healing today, mostly because they're red. But oh my god. So yeah, I pulled out the demons first because it just didn't feel right to jump right into the mysteries of the universe cards, and I just needed to do this. That looks so terrible. I just am grateful to not be a man most of the time. And other times really wish I was. I bet that guy wishes that he heard me say that. You know? Look at that octopus and with the robots, very on brand for me. I should have emotes like that. I wish I knew more about them. It's like I didn't need to. What are those? Oh, frogs, very on. Yeah. You know we love froggies. Okay, this is entirely too many demons. I feel like there might be a demon that wants to talk. And I'm guessing it's the one face down card here. Let's see if I can guess who it is. Although Astaroth is coming to mind, but Astaroth is right here, so maybe that's why. Who is this? Paimon is my final guess. Never too many demons. Lamia! God damn it. Lamia was literally. I had a whole chain of thought that I almost explained, but you said frog, and I said we love frogs, but the Flaming Lip song is frogs. And so then I started singing Lamia in the sunlight, and I was like, oh, is that because it's Lamia? And then I was like, no, it's. Last time I thought it was Lamia, it was Oribus, but it can't be Oribus again, but maybe it's close to Oribus, so who starts with a P? It's not Pickles, but maybe Paimon. And that was my chain of thought, instead of just trusting my own intuition and knowing the fuck that it was Lamia the whole time. And then almost explaining it before I said anything, and having no way to verify that I had that chain of thoughts to derail me from the fucking point. And I guess part of the lesson is to not let some karmic make you question your life that you're destined. I guess we can look at Lamia. I don't really feel like playing with the demons. I thought I did, but I don't. It just already seems too draining. The channel messages, man. I don't know if we overdid it on Friday. We, as in me and everyone who showed up. But it was so much fun that I just, almost don't even want to channel again unless I'm going to go all out. It was a great time. That was, cool experience. Solitary experience. Very cool top 10 solitary experiences. Glad you could all witness it. Really kind of weird thing, right? And then I have to grapple with the aftermath of being like, yeah, I really did that, I guess. It's wild. Okay. Well, what? Yeah, so true. Um, Having a hard time with that, I think, when it comes to the work, because I enjoy it. But then it's like suddenly I'm resilient to it, where it's like, okay, trying to figure that out. What are the boundaries here? Like, how much can I take? Is conditions different than it was last year when I was able to do this more rapidly, but also maybe I wasn't doing this much because I would do 1, 2, maybe 3 people a night. That was 7. It was so much fun. It was so cool. Beware of grief and loss becoming so great that they begin to hurt others, bringing company to misery. To misery. Bringing company to misery. Beware of grief and loss becoming so great that they begin to hurt others, bringing company to misery. Dun dun dun. Lamia in the sunlight. Rivra came up a lot past week. Oh my god, you guys, I just don't think I want to do tarot at all right now. I will work up to it, but no, that's the thing. Sometimes you gotta dance around it a little bit. Rivra, I think I'm jumping in too fast. I also feel like, for some reason, it's like I have become unwillingly nocturnal in a sense, where I've always been on kind of a night schedule. But I think there's something about this work that does make me want to start so late that if it is too early in the evening, it's almost like I'm not. It's weird, right? Okay. Beware of allowing fear to overcome logic. Focus on gaining knowledge to conquer fears instead of trying to destroy things we don't understand. Okay, I think that's a good jumping off point to say, perhaps not my woes, but the thoughts that ail my mind, right? Especially because this is like karmic stuff. I don't know. I'm hearing so many songs in chaos, and I just was like not trying to do any channel messages tonight and just do a regular reading. Yeah, it does feel like there's, oh, look, the reload player. Somebody, listen, I had a hunch that if anyone did show up tonight that I knew who it was. I don't want to give him the Sabbath. Of course, that's what he wants. But also, does that mean... Christ. That lived a certain man in Russia long ago. He was big and strong, and his eyes were flaming gold. I was really trying not to channel anyone tonight, but I feel like I put the cards on the table, and the first person that came to mind was definitely someone later on the list, and that was our number 30 slot. Hi, you're here early. I just started. How fantastic if it is that you are interested in what I'm doing. I was really going to do a regular reading tonight, but instead I might channel Rasputin. And I have a feeling that if I do that, it might call Aleister Crowley, because he's also on my list, and I feel like if he wanted to talk to anybody, that's who it would be, obviously. Though maybe they have. Same vibe. Very masculine energy, though. Why? Okay, bye. I have the Demon and Oracle out right now, but I don't know. Oh, okay. I mean, I don't know. You don't have to stay either. Yeah, and now I have that song stuck in my head. So maybe we'll just do that. Maybe we'll just let them have it. Maybe that's why I was so somber today and I relaxed and didn't do any work, because I was prepping myself in a sense. I know. That's why when you were like, I'll come back later, I'm like, you're right, I probably will be doing this in a few hours. So, gosh, golly, gosh, golly, dolly, lolly, Fowley, Crowley, golly, good golly, Miss Molly, do you fancy a dolly? Do you have a minute for this here lolly? Do you want to be in a field, following me into a sea of poppy seeds or something? Okay, so, gosh, you guys, what am I going to do? it's so weird too because usually if I'm feeling a little bit anxious or like uncertain of how the stream is going to go, I'm sure to choose darker lighting for myself so that I don't feel put on blast. But this was the only lighting I felt comfortable using, and then now I regret it because I feel like my face is so very obviously making all these different emotions that I'm feeling. Um, and it's not that it's necessarily unprofessional to have days like this where you just feel off, but I suppose it did cut into some of my capabilities when working regular, such retail or otherwise similar industry jobs, right? Being the face of anyone's company when my face is like this. You know, cool. Hi. What are you doing? Stressing. What are you doing? Okay. Do you need something though? Like mood. Apathetic. Um yeah, I feel like Rasputin would be the one. We might just have to do that because I feel like it's getting loud in here. Let me read Balan before we close out because he was facing the wrong way. So I'll take it. Who else? We got Adramelich, Dumas, and Balan. LOL is right. And Amadusius. I think Amadusius is about making music, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe that's where the word music comes from. I think I say this every time I see this card. Focus, because it's true. Focus on musical endeavors, including composing and musical inspiration. I think that I'm feeling very called to return myself to music more than tarot, especially when I talk to so many musicians or artists that are like, yes, the thing. And I'm like, yeah, that did feel like my thing that one time I did it. Maybe I ought to keep doing that, but who's got the time, you know? Or I guess when every market is saturated, no such lucrative could be any more or any less than anything else when your odds are already pretty much at zero. Here, here. That's like the second time I've said that tonight. That's so strange. Dumas. Let's just see what he's about. Dumas. Looks like a little deviant fuck, doesn't he? Beware of misinformation through the telephone game. Gossip and rumors pass through many sources until the original facts are completely lost. So be careful. Watch your step, whatever it is. Don't necessarily trust what people say because sometimes there is no source for things. They can just appear. Someone might see something in a dream and think that they witnessed it and then start saying that they thought they saw da da da. Who knows? You know? Be prepared for the worst, I guess. Adramelich. Adramelich. Oh my god. Be careful. That sounds so good right now, though, if you don't mind making me one. No, I'm just kidding. Please do not. Beware of judging by appearances, especially those who dress to impress but have no substance behind their style. Just because someone looks good doesn't mean that they are good. Okay, Balan. Focus on listening instead of speaking, observing instead of being observed. Too bad I don't have the opportunity to say, okay, and just sit here and watch you. Just kidding. I am a goofy guy. Let me roll my stupid ad breaker so that they don't auto roll on us. And I'll be right back, I guess, with a couple more demon cards. I don't know what's going on anymore. Aw, okay. I got myself a little snack, and just if you're new here, don't let anyone watch me eat for free, that is. But I didn't want to keep you waiting. But I was just craving this because, like, listen, I feel like I can't tell you what I'm eating right now because you would think I'm so weird that you might not take spiritual advice from me anymore. Any guesses? What do you think it is? ASMR. Just kidding. It's like, what the fuck? I'm so annoying. Okay. It is a type of cracker. It's pretty big. And it's kind of sweet. This one in particular has cinnamon and sugar. Oh my god. Y'all are gonna think I'm nuts when I tell you. No. Graham crackers. Listen. It was a little cinnamon graham cracker with some vegan, like margarine butter on it. I don't know what you'd call it. It's more like margarine, but they say it's butter, plant-based spread. I don't fucking know. It's vegan and it tastes like butter, margarine, whatever. And it's so good. I know that I'm like such like a maybe like vile, perhaps disgusting human being for me. Like, yes, butter on graham crackers, but oh my god, does it fulfill a need of Christ? Yes. Yes. Thank you. I'm glad you feel that way. I really like butter, like a lot. Oh, thank you. I feel like I actually just had issues with butter as a child, so I have to criticize myself somewhat on that front because it's not healthy to eat too much butter. And I used to just eat it straight up. I don't know. Always loved the shit. Yeah, so like can't be too not harsh either when it comes to certain things because as much as I don't have an addictive personality, there are some things in life that apparently my inner child cannot resist. But this shit is really good. Like, it's really good. I don't know. We were eating bread and butter with our dinner this evening and also had graham crackers. And I was like, look, I'm just going to try it. I know I'm going to like it. And now I'm like addicted to it. They're so good. I probably do judge myself too harshly, though. I decided not to read any of those demons. Oh my gosh. Okay, totally didn't think of that. Like, no shit. You're so right. That's like the main two ingredients. Shuffling these cards is kind of hurting my fingers, so I feel like I'm done with the demon cards. It was a short-lived little run that they had. I thought it would be nice to ask their opinion, but they're like, beware, beware. And it's like, cool, I get it. I also feel that energy. So let's just talk a little bit. Let me not push it because I'm clearly not ready to do tarot just yet. As much as I want to please an audience of what, 3? Appreciate it. Y'all, not feeling it yet. Oh my gosh, thank you, Spiritual Baddie. I thought you've been here before, but perhaps it was someone with a similar name. Um, something? Thank you. You're awesome. I have been feeling a new kind of confidence lately that I have lacked in the past, where I had a lot of cockiness that probably would have built in the method of fake it till you make it type confidence, that I'm gaining now. But then, even more recently than these last few very confident months, I've been like, I, no, I mean, see the alternative there. Like I see the opposite also being as plausibly true. You're not wrong, you know. Self-awareness is a bitch. So, casual compliments in conversation as such do not go unnoticed for me because the little things lift us up. Um, I think that for the full moon, I didn't really have anything in particular to let go of. I felt like I've been doing the work, I've been letting things go, I've been putting in ritual time. I didn't really do any rituals. We celebrated all night last night until well past when the moon was full. Like, it was a great time. But I actually didn't do a ritual like I normally do, other than my daily rituals, right? So this full moon, it's not that it felt different, but it's Aries, right? It went from like that full moon in Pisces was a not extravagant for me, but I put some thought, time, effort into that. And this one, it's like, nope, no notes. And it's like, it's never no notes. What do you mean, no notes? What are you trying to release this full moon cycle, the first one, so to speak, in zodiac terms, right? And I kind of just didn't even, I was at last minute sort of, oh, I guess it would be like release whatever's not meant for me. Okay, kind of the cheesy way out. The easy way out is the cheesy way out, right? So when you're at the point where there's something more specific, or perhaps we're not ready to let go of the things we specifically need to let go of, um, some full moons can feel like that because also the hunter's full moon, it doesn't feel like a catch and release. It feels like what you're. How do I don't think I could explain. I don't think there's a way to explain what I'm trying to say. Kind of. Okay, this might sound a little morbid because the analogy feels kind of morbid, and I feel like it's appropriate that the hunter's moon would be at this time, and it is because literal hunting, right? Um, it's almost as if, okay, when our full moon process is to release the things that we don't want anymore, then the hunter's full moon feels like we are letting everything get released. It's like what I put in all my requests last full cycle, like the last 12 moon cycles. Let's see what's being released, and maybe someone else's release is my new catch. It's the hunting vibe where it's like, let it all come out and then see what's out there, right? Is that a kind of, it's kind of a, it seems not necessarily morbid, but I was thinking more brutal, brutally than I let on in the analogy that I made. So, um, it feels like perhaps, right? Perhaps that's just something I was thinking of, to say the least. Maybe that's not saying the least. Maybe that's actually saying the most. Um, Lots of songs going through my head, and even Amadeus coming up tonight would be very telling of music, where I feel like I do go through phases in which I don't listen to a lot of music, or do listen to a lot of music, or I like to sing a lot, or don't sing at all. And maybe because it's becoming winter, like fall is just the process of falling right into the winter season. Autumn is the descension into the underworld. Um, yeah, so I feel like maybe now is the time to sit down and focus. So if you work on music, then work on music at this time. If you enjoy music, then enjoy music at this time, or lean on music to help you focus on what you are working on. If it's not music, I think that would be a good message to take. It's one of the only things that's really standing out, but I think it's also just because I keep hearing songs. in my head right now, and I just like I don't even want to sing them because, like I just said, I go through phases where I do and don't want to do these things. Um, but who doesn't? That's sort of like part of living the dream is that you have to also live your nightmares, it seems. Because when your life is but a dream, then the bad parts can be just as equally extreme, kind of thing. So, crazy, man. How's everybody doing? How was your full moons and stuff? What's going on? It got a bit quiet. No, not really. It's just you and I. There's always someone. My rider dies. Y'all like take turns. It's sweet. It's like I'm tired on a soul level, but not from the tarot readings or the full moon or anything. It's kind of like I said. I know. And you were there in the beginning, but then as soon as someone else was here to chat with me, you were like, okay, I'm gonna get back to work. I think it's really sweet. Um, I think it means I have good people supporting me, right? Uh, I'm kind of happy. Yeah, I'm tired of the everyday more than I'm tired of my days, if that makes sense. I'm not tired of doing tarot. I'm not tired of streaming. I'm tired of um, things needing to work out, you know? It's not even like I did wake up the other day, admittedly, saying I'm fed up with the way things are. And that is so sweet. That's really sweet, yeah. I love that idea. I just end up being pretty antisocial and reclusive, and I don't even think that I'm that way until I'm acting that way. I'm very comfortable about it. I get a little weird around people at times, but I bet that was really nice. I would love, that's the thing, I've been very much in my head. It's not so much of dwelling on the past as much as it's just remembering things and being like, huh, what was so different about those times than these times, and how did I feel then versus how I feel now? Um, no. I look at I'm sitting here in my own environment with my own stuff, my own weed, my own water, my own snacks, my own like view, my own art, my own setup, my own comforts. Like, yeah, I'm social in this way. Oh. Ah. um, any? I doubt. I mean, well, wouldn't like gathering for things like Christmas and stuff be kind of like pagan? Gift giving is ritualistic if you like candles at some of these events. Like if you were I almost said Yiddish. If you were Jewish and doing Hanukkah or something, like it's pretty ritualistic. Not saying it's all derived of paganism, but same kind of idea, right? I'm sure you've done something. Y'all are thoughtful people. Look, I'm getting a little antsy because I'm about to be in my manic week, aka ovulation, aka Lana Winters, and I'm gonna be back to my ha ha ha, and that's when I'm gonna attract these weirdos who worship these even weirder weirdos, and have to block a bunch of dudes, like 2 weeks from now, but that's okay. The ebb and flow of life. Oh, see, but like, what a way to finish the night, and that literally sounds perfect. I don't know what you mean by that last part. I hope we're not delving into a certain way of thought, though. um, yeah, that sounds so relaxing. I just miss cool environments. I feel like I would be more social or want to go out more if I was able to just go anywhere that I actually wanted instead of just going places for the fuck of it. Yeah, that sounds really lit. Like every part of your evening sounds lit as fuck. Um, you know what's so weird is like I feel so tired, but I didn't feel tired at all leading up to this necessarily. Um, but definitely, I don't think I had any caffeine today, so it's like not shocking that I would feel kind of sleepy. I kind of hate that word. I don't know what it is. Um, it's about this night. Maybe that's what it is. Even though I usually work the weekend, so whatever, and I took some days off. I think it's really my cycle, what it comes down to a lot of the time, where it's like literally I'm coming off these one hormones and getting on these other ones. Um, when my body gets a little bent out of shape, the cramps finally stop for like 2 days, and then I start getting cramps again. Cool, thanks. My body's like, can you get pregnant? I'm like, nope, no thanks. And she's like, please, come on, I beg you, get pregnant. Yeah, yeah. I'm coming down from all the paranoid thoughts, the crying spells, the emotions. Oh, God. I get traumatized every time. I've not always been a squeamish person, but after my accident, that I will continue to discuss later in the month, um, I kind of like maybe don't like blood as much as I used to be pretty intolerant to it, or very tolerant. What's the word? Insensitive, very tolerant to blood. And maybe now that I've seen my own hand just kind of like open, and having these random staple scars on the back of my head, and knowing that I can't wear my fucking Tims anymore because they have blood all over them. Yeah. Yeah, I notice that my partner gets the same way, and I think there might actually be something about the way that the female body produces pheromones that could influence the male bodies that are around them. But I don't know if there's much to that. Uh, could have been aliens. Who knows? I think that's why I have PMDD. Um, yeah, sometimes it's just like a lot of blood, and it's like, holy shit, I cannot function properly. That's why, like, as much as it's maybe right now in the earlier phases of this lifestyle of streaming or working from home for myself rather than going out and doing events, is because I can do it at my own pace, and it's like impossible to just work through that stuff where like I've quit jobs, just being like, I don't give a fuck. I literally am at a war with my own body, and I want to puke. I want to cry. I want to sit down. I want to die. I quit. I'm good. Fuck it. Goodbye. So, like, it's just unrealistic to keep having that cycle in my life. And it's also unrealistic for people, especially, no offense, guys, male bodied people being like, get over it, everybody does it, blah, 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 blah. Listen, everyone's different. So shut the fuck up. We should not be working through this. Okay, BRB. Cats killing dogs. pigs eating rats. Every mouth will eat you up. The king bug laughs. Belly of the heart, belly full of bats. The chromosomes seem not to want the fetus. But you want make it bleed, make it feel like a disease. Just kidding. I'm back. Okay, it didn't even go anywhere. That felt like the quickest ad ever. Listen, y'all, I'm stressing. What's with that? Little Luigi, he's twerking. Little Luigi, twerking away. Oh my gosh, this is so funny. Okay. Thank you. Do you not have you don't have to watch the ads? Lucky you. Are they not working? It says I generate revenue, so I guess I'll take it. That's really funny. Yeah. Somebody asked me if it was meant to be backwards, and I was like, yeah. Why wouldn't it be? As if that's sing a song, like what? Give you content, like what? What do we mean? My buddy Kato. Do you actually know them? Her? It's hard to remember who everyone is. I thought you were a lady for a while, so. um, it's probably because all the extremists that have been on my stream have been men, identified people that have had to get blocked and banned. So I just like terribly and sexistly assume. Um, yeah, that's what they told me about that too, and that's why I was like, wait, yeah, I didn't remember, but like I do. I saved my potato. It's so funny. It's just so funny. Yeah, so it's sexist of me to assume that anybody who could like handle themselves and have an actual conversation was a female person. Terrible of me, right? That is kind of funny. Somebody thought I was black on here. People on the phone think that I'm black too. And I was like, am I trying to watch the way I'm saying things? Like, if I'm giving that impression, it's probably because I'm saying the wrong things or dipping into AAVE or something. And like, I'm like, oh shit. But then at the end of the day, it's just like I just am who I am to some extent. Wow. That's interesting. It's kind of funny because I guess I did think you were a white female. Not necessarily. And I don't know. You know how on Reddit, everybody's little avatars are like little alien versions of themselves? I feel like on Twitch, I just like give people little like similar koala looking gremlin whatever like like non-human attributes because I'm on here talking to dead people and aliens and stuff, so I'm like maybe these aren't even real people. No, it was like I said, it wasn't necessarily I realized that it wasn't necessarily that I thought you were white, I just thought you were female. Maybe you're really connected to your past lives. Don't even realize it. Somebody on this stream asked me if I was black. It's like, how did you even, like, am I, what? And I was like, okay, I gotta reel it in because obviously I'm probably speaking sideways out my mouth here if I was giving that impression when I'm very white. I'm white. I'm white. But I don't know if they were black though. That's like I'm saying, like I know that person was a man. Maybe. Maybe. I don't know why that's so funny to me because it's like maybe that is what it is. I can't. You're funny. Um, so dumb. Um, yeah, I don't know. He got banned anyway because he was cussing, and I was like, you know what? I don't know if you are, so. Ugh, God, you're so right, and it's creepy as hell, isn't it? Like, it's really creepy. I had this phase where, like, I refused to trust anyone with blue eyes, and then I realized that there was, like, people in my life that I did kind of trust that had blue eyes already before I realized I couldn't trust anyone with blue eyes, so it was like a whole thing. Yeah. My partner always says, trust and verify. No, trust then verify, or trust but verify, or something like that. Like, I'll believe you as long as I can prove it. You know? I was like, that's probably the most truthful way to go about things. You know? Me too. I'm in a giggly mood. Remember, like, when I first got on the stream and I was giggling, and then all of a sudden I was like, I have anxiety and want to live in the dark, and now we're back to like, it's a vibe. And yes, that's the thing. Sometimes I smoke more than other times, you know. And that's part of it is moving through my cycle and going with the ebbs and flows of like how anxious am I. Okay. See, here we go. This is perfect. I was literally like, listen, I don't fucking want to talk about anything in particular. Actually, this is a perfect segue into a point that I do want to talk about, and I want to address what you're saying with the end goal being to point out that there is clearly and directly a pipeline from the spiritual community into the alt-right community. So we will unpack that, and I actually like that we had this conversation because I mentioned this in my Discord earlier that I wanted to discuss this spiritual to alt-right pipeline because I notice it more and more in like even people I know or just like content I listen to. Um, and so it's funny that I don't know what you mean by very charged, but yeah, I mean it's weird that they're like we don't even think about it having like a cross sect at all because it seems like the more spiritual you would be, the less kind of like political or racist you would be. But sometimes it drives people to be even more that way, which is like insane because it's like you're supposed to be able to receive these thoughts or notions that you are probably racist, right? Like, or prejudiced in some way, and that you do gain from the oppressor oppressing the people that they do. And that is just you being able to look at your shadow self. And if you can't work through that and realize that you're in the wrong for it and see that as a bad thing instead of succumbing to the fact that, oh, well, it's my spiritually righteous duty to appreciate the opportunity to be benefited by the system. That's how you get to the alt-right, right? So you just keep going in that lane of like, oh, well, it's my righteous path, manifest destiny. That's why it's like manifesting is a dangerous game to play because the colonizers used that entire theory to take whatever the fuck they wanted. Yep. And that's why it's like, it's so easy to go from like spirituality, clicking rabbit holes, getting into conspiracy, finding things like QAnon leading you to Trump leading you to radicalized groups. Like it's crazy how the spiritual community, I found it myself. Like that's what happened. I had a very spiritual experience and that's where it led to. Um Yes. And that's a big point that I do make on my channel a lot is that you can't think of light and dark as good and evil because it's not true. People can use light magic and light meditation and light healing for their own sick and evil purposes. And you can't just assume that someone who has dark energy or dark powers, such as myself, are inherently evil for what they're doing if they have good intentions. I'm chaotic good. I might do some crazy fucked up shit, but I am doing it because I think it's for the benefit of the majority, right? I'm being like, I'm just the delivery guy, but I'll deliver because it's what's needed, correct? Um, but it's dark magic, so I'm the one who can't be trusted, and anybody who's like overcoating you with positivity and being like, cleanse this, crystal that, is automatically like above me or like more righteous or correct and good than I am. But okay, so this also, well, I want to tie this back to what you said, and that's why I brought up the ultimate conversation I wanted to have. Um, because you said you believe in stereotypes but don't believe in classifying. People create cultures and societies and paradigms within them and outside of them. So, touching on that, because here's the thing, light, very much associated with what? White. White light is often like cover yourself in white light, and associating that with good is associating good with white. And so like associating darkness with what? Nothing, blank, black, like the pits of nothingness. When you look down into a well, of course you're going to see like darkness is like pitch black, right? But it's also when you associate that with evil, despite the fact that what does that darkness actually represent is things like the womb is total darkness, and that's where creation begins. Outer space is total darkness, and that's where all things exist. So, to why is it evil? Why do we associate darkness with evil? Who said that? Like your shadow self might be evil, but darkness is what showed you. Well, no, I mean light is what creates the shadow, is it not? So, like, once again, why do you associate light with good and darkness with evil other than, yep, it's literally that simple. And you see it reverberate in these certain paradigms where people who just go along with that narrative and be like, that's your opinion, but I believe that with this white light, I will do good and you will do you. Like they don't sometimes even realize what they're saying or the depth to which people created these narratives to pass along to them, especially through the means of magic and other discourse and the occult in general. Um, but when you do maybe have that realization, who's there to catch you when you don't want to change it? Is like Nazis and shit. It's crazy. It's crazy. They're all doing their own spiritual thing. All religious movements are inherently spiritual. That too. Yep. Yep. That makes so much sense. It's crazy. You know what does blow my mind? And I try not to speak too much on racial stuff because I am, at the end of the day, like a white woman, no matter how queer or disassociated I am from both identities. Um, but it's crazy to see, like, so many people who were like affected by um like, I don't know, Christian slave owners or Christian conquistadors, and like the ancestors of these people who suffered through that are like dedicated to these religions that were used as a means to control them and justify their pain. It's like really crazy, but there's not really much alternative for people either, where they're like, I want a religious practice, I want to worship, I want to celebrate life and praise a God and hope that I will be benefited from it someday and in this day, right? So I can kind of understand the grip that it has over people, but the history behind it all is actually pretty fucking insane. And it's wild to see people cling to something that was so toxic in the first place and designed to literally threaten their own way of life and scare them into indoctrinating themselves by using fear, punishment, and other like really even more gruesome tactics than that. Like that's wild, you know? And I'm Catholic, so I fucking know that shit. I know that shit. Who the fuck is white Jesus? That's John Lennon. Stop telling anybody there's a white Jesus. Jesus was a Middle Eastern, right? And white Jesus is just John Lennon, okay? Yeah. And wait, when is your birthday? What's your sign? Because maybe you have a lot of the water and earth placements, and that's why you also have the feminine energy. Because in astrology, you would be a feminine person if you have more earth and water. Yeah, you're. Oh, I bet you were like so pretty. It's like the cruelest thing to tell someone that you can't see because what if they're not? But that is D'Angelo Wallace's birthday, I'm pretty sure. And my cousin, who is literally the most beautiful woman I've ever probably seen in my life. Maybe that sounds really weird, but um, they both have that birthday. So I'm like, oh shit. Or maybe I don't know. I was looking up a bunch of Virgos. It might be Michael Jackson's birthday too. And I mean, say what you will. He was in all eras, not all eras. Yeah, it is Michael Jackson's birthday. Let me see if it's actually D'Angelo Wallace's birthday, but like, I'm pretty sure it is. It is, yeah. So, like, everyone born on that day is pretty fucking beautiful. Yep. And D'Angelo Wallace. I know he's young and he's like a baby, but he's like a total angel and he's just like absolutely gorgeous. Whatever. Um, that's really funny. But yeah, so you do have that is probably your feminine energies coming from your Virgo sun. That's very much a feminine placement. It's like that kind of immaculate beauty inside and out, and feminine energy, earth, water, and of course, emphasis with Virgo being the virgin and representing even Mary. I bet Mary's birthday was August 29th, too. Like Jesus's mom, or really the alien abductee that hosted Jesus in her womb. On that note, commercial break. Well, it took some time, 'cause it's a lot. God, it's a bunch. It's such a big old black golden bus. I haven't got my voice back yet. The range and pitch all changes based on where I'm at in my cycle. And so when I'm on my period, it's super low. And when I'm ovulating, it's super high. And right now I'm transitioning from going really low to really high. Still gotta get it back. But I tried. I also have nothing to sing other than these same stupid songs that rob my brain. And we are back. Okay. What's up? Cool. Um, so yeah, that could be why you give off big femme energy. I don't know if you've looked at your chart. Thanks. Um, cool. Staying up with me or staying up because you're working? Or because it's quiet. It's like literally it's a trade off. As soon as one person starts talking, the next person gets like a break and they'll come back and say something later. And then you'll get a break. Or people really like that individualistic attention also. It's more engaging. Um, hey, gotta get that over time. Um, that's so funny that you did bring up Two Spirit though, because it's like a native thing, right? As far as I understand. I feel very much like Two Spirit. I always just have said that I'm androgynous since like high school. Even earlier than that. I think I had a dance recital costume when I was like 6 years old. I think probably like first grade. It was like me and my best friend, who I'm pretty much still in love with to this day, were like dance partners, and she had like a skirt, and I wore like pants and a tie, and in this like choreographed dance, we like danced together, and like that was probably it. You know, with the hat, I was like, but I could like really get used to this, and like kind of loved it. You know, maybe too much since day one. That was like my earliest gender euphoria experience of like being, oh, I'm the guy. Like I'm kind of into that. Okay, um, that's cool. And so always been pretty androgynous. So something like Two Spirit, yeah, I could definitely see myself aligning with such energy as well. Either. Oh, hi. Didn't know you were still here. Y'all, I just want to smoke a ton of weed so that I don't get a panic attack. Like, that's what's going on in my life right now. Welcome to it. Was it a good idea to stream? I really wanted to. I felt like I could. And now that I'm doing it, it's like, damn, I better subdue myself, which is annoying and technically self medicating. But what else am I supposed to do? I know sometimes they're really bad, but it's not that bad today because I have nothing that's really panic inducing in my life currently. It's just like these crazy feelings where, like I said, my hormone levels are adjusting. Nothing. Literally nothing. I was gonna do all, well, okay. That's not true. It can't be nothing. That's what we were just saying. The twin flame reading was my intent tonight. I have empty shooters on the floor because it's John Lennon's birthday. I guess, you know what's on my mind? Part of the reason I put, amen, amen to that. Part of the reason I put full moon insight is because I was just thinking, oh, hey, Neverland. Alice reporting for duty. Neverland has arrived. Hi. I'm way too hype about your name right now, especially with the X's and O's, because I'm very much into that as well. You do what? I love that. Hi. I'm not really doing tarot right now. Please, I'm so sorry. I might pull cards later. The whole point tonight was supposed to be a twin flame reading, but I think that I'm a little caught up in like my own twin flame journey to want to even hear what messages lie in that reading. And ultimately, when you just ask what's on my mind or what's, you know, that could be part of it where I last night decided to take a break from the Halloween Oracle and do a twin flame reading, and in the instance that I didn't want to, it was like, cool, Rasputin will talk. And I'm like, yo, I don't think I can handle a whole Rasputin channel right now. Um, but now I might be avoiding. Oh my God. No way. No way did this just happen. This is literally living proof of exactly what we've been talking about for the past hour. Um, so you guys saying I'm assuming are singing a song, but the fact that you just said "love you, girl" is maybe part of the song, or did you just think that Sup Sorcerer was a lady? Because we definitely just had a 20-minute conversation about how that happens a lot. I have no idea what y'all are talking about. Kind of funny though. I love you, girl. Sorry, I'm giggly tonight. As much as I just said I was gonna have a panic attack, it's not true. I'm laughing off my ass, except why would I ever do that? I love, love, love having ass. I'm not trying to laugh any of it off. Let's stay right there. Laugh some ass on, if you will. You know what I mean? Come on. What are y'all talking about? No, I got that part. Oh, but then like this quotes and I don't know what just happened, y'all. Did you think Source was a girl or not though? Was that part of what happened or not? Because we just had that discussion. So it would just be really like, what? I think I think I'm, you guys, I think that I confused everyone. There's a lag too. So I think the ships are sailed. You know what I mean? The ships sailed. Cool. I was watching Flapjack today. Damn, something about Captain Hook, but also Flapjack. What a creepy ass show. I hear cats. So yeah, supposed to be doing a twin flame reading. They told me that last night. I'm gonna be taking a break from the channel messages, and I just don't feel like doing anything quite yet. We pulled a few demons out, and they just seemed really draining. And it's like I can't imagine doing a whole mystery deck reading right now. Even though I rested today and ate lots of food and been trying to just calm my nerves. It seems like maybe I am resilient to hearing the message that is supposed to be conveyed because it could, you know, kind of same thing. I think it was terrible being female for a lot of my existence, and even at a young age, I was like, I think at age 25, I'll get a sex change and be a man, and then at age 50, if I'm still miserable, I'll just shoot myself in the head. And that was my life plan. And then I was like broke and going through a crisis when I turned 25, so it was kind of like, oh well, guess that's not happening. And now sometimes, okay, fair. Yeah, there's probably a bunch of things that I do. Yeah, right. Like so many ways to like do something. Or like jump from a building that you blow up. That would be kind of cool. And it would just hurt falling. Gosh, owie. So romanticized and for what? But Yeah, like pick an empty one, a demolition site, something like that. Or just go full Joker. I don't know. Yeah. Come on, baby, light my fire. Come on, baby, light my fire. Girl, we couldn't get much higher. Um, I guess since I don't remember her name, I can just like talk about this pretty freely. And at this point, I mean, this was 5 years ago. We'll see. Maybe she's still here. That'd be cool if she was. I was rooming with this woman at the psych ward. And, like, you pretty much were only at this place if you, like, attempted life, right? And I, like, starved myself, and they considered that attempted on my life. So here we are, whatever. Okay, perception. It's all about the way you perceive it. I wasn't necessarily trying to die, but I was just not trying to eat. Yeah, at the psych ward. Okay, so I'm at the psych ward, and my roommate was this like 75-year-old woman, and she attempted. And I was like, huh. And she's like, I did everything. I was married, I think she said twice, divorced once, and then her husband died. And she got like 2 doctorates from 2 separate universities, and like moved from her home country and lived on her own. Had a whole family, kids, grandkids, were all married. Like, she's like, man, it's been an excellent film. Like, I just want it to go out on my own terms, like when I'm still kind of healthy. And her fucking kid walked in and kind of like calls 911 on her ass, and she gets locked in the psych ward for a minute. And I'm like, that's incredible, dude. I commend you. And I was like, well, have you considered just like getting fucked up? And she's like, what? And I was like, well, you done all the good shit. Well, have you thought about doing some bad shit? Like doing some fucking heroin, getting a boyfriend, having some wild sex, you know? Like, think outside the box and do something you haven't done then. And if they want you to live so bad, then they can't really judge you for it, right? And she was just like, kind of, I think she kind of like laughed when I explained myself. It's not even why die. I think she had every right to want to die, and I think she had her own perfect ending in mind, and her son's an asshole for interrupting, right? Or maybe she was depressed, and there's a lot of life to live. But I hope she took my advice and got herself like a little boyfriend and like shot up some heroin or something. I would never wish that upon someone, but why not feel like pure ecstasy before you go? Like, why not? Like you said, you've done everything. Your kids are all grown. Your grandkids are grown. Like, maybe that's Little Miss Sunshine or whatever. But like, yeah, yeah. I love the 2 sentences that totally contradict each other, but also I agree with both, is the thing. Like, I agree that, like, sure, you can do that, but also agree with what you're saying of, like, you might as well live and do something else. Yeah, like, she kind of was done with the whole game of life. She's like, cool, yeah. If I had to choose, maybe just quietly, peacefully go take pills in my bed. And like her son freaked out and was like, oh my god, mom, you know. And she's like, fuck, man. I just thought I could slip out of here, like, perfect, like, so cute, you know. And she just didn't get away with it, ended up meeting me, and I hope that I made a lasting impression on the last of her life, and that she tried some kind of wild fucking thing. Maybe she got drunk after that. She like went home and was like, fuck it, get me the bottle, and was just like, shot, 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 shot. Wish we stayed in touch, you know? I love that about life. And someone else when I was in there was trying to teach me piano, and I was like, "You'll never believe this. I'm a fucking shit for this, but I took lessons for like 9 years, and I don't know any piano." He's like, "You're kidding me. I never took lessons in my life. I cleaned for the church so that they would let me play the piano, and I learned it all on my own and played for them eventually or whatever." And maybe he was bullshitting, but he could play, so I believe him. You know, he was teaching me a song. And I don't remember that either. For some reason, yeah, me and instruments just like do not vibe. I gotta accept that. You know, I sing, that's it. I hate me and instruments just don't click, I guess. But it was a pretty cool time. I met some wild people. One dude's still kind of, well, I'm not gonna go there right now, but you know what I mean? Wild times. Yeah, 2017. Good times. Good times. Good times. Yeah. Okay. So I did pull out the cards. I did. I am kind of digging the conversation, but kind of like the more I talk, the more it's like, well, I can tell that some stuff's kind of coming up or coming out or willing to be there and gonna be a part of things. Um, Hoping to stave off further any channeled messages this evening. I think I want more time to sit with the readings that we did before jumping into more when it comes to the people on my list. So I'm gonna have to be doing my giddy up combo days like I have been throughout the rest of the month. And next weekend, I think we're gonna do Saturday Night Live, even though I don't think any of the people or any of the comedians on my list were actually on Saturday Night Live. It's gonna be comedian night on Saturday, and that's gonna be our big night next week. And do a smaller opener, so like the reverse of this week. Do like 2 or 3 people the Friday night before, and then Sunday decompress. Wait, is next week Nico's birthday? Fuck. Shit, fuck. When is Nico's birthday? Is next Sunday. Of course her birthday's a Sunday. Fuck. Maybe we'll skip Friday and do Saturday, Sunday next week then. And what costume shall the poker wear? Yeah, we'll have to do that. Maybe we'll just do something light Friday. Light snacks. We'll do rock and rollers on Sunday. Comedians on Saturday, rock and rollers on Sunday. It's gonna be cool. Can't wait for Psych Night too. I'm gonna have to do a couple in between though. Maybe I'll just pick one person to do some odd nights. To all tomorrow's parties. Yeah, I think during the week I'm gonna try for William Shakespeare and Kurt Cobain. I kind of really feel like I need to make this happen for some reason. It'll be like it'll be a sonnet, it'll be like a writing session. That'll be cool, but I'll do that during the week. Cool. So let me take this quick ad break. And then we'll crack into some of these cards probably because I'm starting to get my mojo back a little bit. Appreciate y'all being here through this. Any more conversation, throw it my way and we will talk about it. And I'll be back in 60 seconds. Oh, I'm sorry. I was eating more graham crackers and I was putting more vegan butter on them bitches, dude. It's so good. It's so good. Oh my god. And I don't know what it is about the graham crackers we have, but they're like so fluffy. It's just amazing. I'm a weirdo. It's okay. I don't even like Radiohead like that, you know what I mean? Alright, so what's up, y'all? How's it going? Thank you for joining. I think you should stick around and hear me out. Look, as soon as I start talking, people are like, yeah, I'm not into this. That's okay. Just kidding. So, I think I'm gonna do this mystery deck. Two of second position water. And I just think I don't care anymore, you know? And that's always kind of the time in which it's good to do readings like this, because if you care too much, you're just digging for information, but the second you stop caring is when you can look at it for what it is and hear the message. So last night, I can't remember what I was doing in the moment, but I knew that tonight I would do a twin flame reading for some reason, that we'd catch up with it, because we were doing them not necessarily consistently, and I did say that I was going to need breaks from the Halloween Oracle this month, despite my most wanted and desired outcome of my efforts being successful over the next month. However, if I'm gonna load them up, it's more fun if I try to fit in more people in one night than it is to do one person in a whole night. That's what I'm realizing. But it's more draining, so might as well do other readings, even though I said I wasn't gonna. I feel like the mystery deck's pretty spooky appropriate, don't you think? It's aliens and stuff, so yeah. So, I feel like the only person really watching right now is Source, who's watched so many, maybe all of my streams, I don't know. So I am sorry if I'm repeating myself, but people sometimes watch the replays. Uh, I guess, something that I like to point out about specifically the Twin Flame readings is that I got this deck last summer and I got it from a store. I bought it used. It came with no instructions or title book. So I didn't know what it was, and I organized it and got to know it in the way that I do with all my decks that I buy or find or are gifted to me, and I decided based on the way that they felt and the way that they looked and the way that I did the readings on with them, that these were going to be reserved for channeled messages from gods, goddesses, guides, and galactics. And so whenever I used the mystery deck, I knew I was channeling either someone's higher self, their higher family, their outer space connections. Like, I don't know how else to explain it. Like, extraterrestrial beings, but also like personal connections, you know? Guides, gods, goddesses, galactic. So, sometime, I think it was really around Valentine's Day, where it was like I went to go do a reading of this deck, and it was just like, it was about twin flames, and I was just kind of like, what the fuck? That's so far from what I want to do, because I kind of hate the whole conversation surrounding twin flame journeys, because it's such like a gimmicky thing, especially lately, you know? That it just like turns me off. But it's like, no, you have to deliver the actual messages. You know, if you actually think you're good and you want to call yourself the romancer, essentially, because I say that the neck romancer. We doubled up. I went from sneezing twice to sneezing 4 times in a row, apparently. So there's four cards actually in front of me. They're all blue. Oh, my goodness, that fifth one. So I just got the message that I was doing a twin flame reading when I decided to use the mystery oracle, and that's kind of why I started doing these, kind of unwillingly. Oh my gosh, did my sneezes wake you up? Because that was like the sixth one. I don't know what's happening right now. To be like legitimately honest with you, I don't know why. I just thank you. I have another one coming. I don't know. This is literally the. Why is this happening? I don't know. Just random right now. Not a thing that has happened at all today. I'm so sorry. I can't stop. I have to do this reading, apparently. Okay. It's like a rodeo in your mouth when you sneeze, man. I'll be right back. I gotta. That was a lot. um, fuck. Whoa. What the hell was that? Oh, it's like I didn't need to say anything or do much. I could tell when you smile. Okay. So I started doing these in like February, and that's why I don't necessarily love doing them, but right now I'm not feeling like channeling aliens just as much as I'm not feeling like channeling dead people. We had some really good readings this week. I'm still caught up on Picasso. That was so much fun for me. I loved hearing his perspective, not only because he's a Scorpio and an artist, but because he was an asshole. I can respect that. I know. Oh my god, I know. Maybe this is. But okay, so hear me out, though. Hear me out. Part of the reason I just like went into that backstory and totally forgot is because I think the reason that twin flame connections are so intense but also so easily misconstrued is because they are in nature intergalactic. And that is why we have connections to people that are seemingly more intense than your average human connection to someone who might be like a soulmate or even a karmic where you like have past lives with them, but like twin flame connections are like, huh, somehow I can communicate with you in an otherworldly plane that is not existent on this human planet. Why is that? Like, yeah, especially because my periods really like drag me to a place of like, was it aliens? Kind of, yeah. I don't know if you meant the twin flame thing or the alien thing, but also both. Like, literally, yeah, yeah. So I feel like that's why it came up. Like I said, I had the intention of this deck before I started using it for twin flame readings, just like the demon thing. The demon deck is a perfect karmic deck, and I didn't realize it till the other day. And then I essentially deduced that my love readings are soulmate readings, you know? Um, and that's cool. So, yeah. But yeah, but yeah, but yeah. So, yeah. No. I mean, you can book a personal reading and get one. It's the pink deck. But no, I considered doing it tonight and I decided against it. Which is selfish because not everyone has a twin flame journey thing going on. But I absolutely do not want to get into the romantic side of things. I think the soulmate journeys are steady and stable right now. And if you're not steady and stable right now, then you're probably dealing with a karmic. And we did do the demon oracle, so you got karmic messages. And if you were resonating with any of those messages, then that's kind of your answer. You're not dealing with a soulmate. And if you think you haven't met your soulmate, then you have to recognize which soulmates or what people along the way have been soulmates so that you can find one again. This is Twin Flame Journey. But it's also John Lennon's birthday. Demons can have soulmates. They just represent karmic relationships in my readings, that's all. Like you can go on my website and book a reading and like get buy any reading you want. And not wait, but rather whenever I'm not streaming, I do personal readings, and I guess, yeah. Well, yeah, I think people really underestimate how much work goes into these things, and that's why I absolutely refuse to give people personal readings on my channel for damn near free, right? Because of the work that I do. Basically, but those aren't the readings. You can get a reading starting at $40. And I offer pendulum questions for like 10 because I do want to be affordable without being too expensive. But then to be my friend, it is $506 if you want to learn the game and my behind the scenes tricks. So, gonna light some Libra incense for John Lennon's birthday. Listen, I also don't spend money on that stuff, so I can't pretend like I blame you. I don't got it like that either. And I could be stubborn in a sense of I'd rather not do it at all than do it for less than I'm worth. Yep. Amen. That's what I tell people, and that's why I have little patience for people who come on here and are like, "Can I get a reading? Can I get a reading?" Yeah, if you go on my website and book one and buy yourself a personal fucking reading, you can. Otherwise, you're here for the general collective messages that I share out of the goodness of my goddamn heart and because Spirit wants me to. Hey, do you guys think Hank Hill is a Taurus? What did I do to this bowl? Ew. Is Hank Hill a Taurus? Hank Hill is a genius. Okay, touche, touche, touche. Is he a Taurus though? I want to know. Does he have a birthday in the show? Curious. He's an Aries, okay, which is funny because Taurus is April, but the 15th is still Aries season. Tax day is his birthday. Is that why you know it? They probably have an episode about why it's like he hates his birthday. Oh, okay. I don't know. I just feel like he would hate that it's tax day because he like says fuck the government stuff, right? Isn't he just like, I'm tired of this? Grandpa, wrong show. It's okay. Thank you, Shubin. We're just like propaning it up. Oh, okay. I don't know. I haven't watched enough of it, I guess. I'm more of a Boomhauer myself. You know, people are like, I'm sorry, what did you just say? No, honestly, I think I'm a Boomhauer, but really I'm that one guy, and we all know exactly what guy I'm talking about. I can't think of his name, but he's like always on some conspiracy shit and has like some crazy girlfriends and stuff. Like, I'm that guy. Whatever his name is. I wish I was Boomhauer, but I am not that calm, cool, or collected, but equally hard to understand. Yeah. Yeah. I'm the other guy. No doubt about it. So, anyways, this shit smells so good. How y'all doing? Oh, hello everyone. Do you think I can keep them entertained for more than 30 seconds? I'm about to read some cards if you want to stick around. It's technically a twin flame reading, but if there was a general consensus, I suppose you could sway me to do something else. We love frogs. I'm looking at the sky. I'm waiting on the rain. I'm waiting for the frogs to fall. Oh, of course Bobby's a Leo. That's adorable. Bobby's a Leo, of course. Ooh, my ear just went off. My laptop is dying. Let me plug her in right quick. Um, there you are. Listen, I impromptu kind of cleaned out my bowl piece, which is probably a good thing because I was coughing a lot. But now I have a little bit of resin on my hands, so I was gonna skip this 20-minute ad break, but honestly, I gotta get this shit off before I touch my cards. So BRB, sorry, I'm a little stone nerd. Okay, I'm back, but I'm eating a red vine. And I'm a stoner, dude. Because I'm a huge nerd, but I'm also a stoner. ASMR, red vines. People are like, ew, don't assault my ears. I didn't come here for this. Mmm. Mmm. Gotta love red vines, bro. Peggy's in Aquarius. There you are. Wash your hands and wash your face. Water's gone. I just see these frogs. Evaporates and goes to outer space. You don't know? Wow. You've been on this channel for how long and you can't tell these good people when my birthday is? Any guesses? Any guesses at all? Does anyone, no one knows? Wow. Wow. Thought I talk about it enough, make it totally obvious. Maybe not. Not here to judge. What does that have to do with anything? And also, you should be here to judge. Judgments, at the end of the day, are what help us create boundaries for ourselves. And therefore, judgment is a good thing. Don't let people shit on your parade. I'm trying to dodge. Okay, I'm a Taurus. There you are. Wash your hands and wash your face. Water's gone. I just sang that. It's just stuck in my head. What is this, candy? Cool. What's up, y'all? No. Why would you think May 12th? Mm-mm. I'm an April baby. Can't you tell I'm a diamond? What? Close. You know what's really funny about that? The song April 29th, 1992, Miami by Sublime is about the events that took place on April 29th, 1992, but in the song, they say April 26th, 1992. That's my birthday. No, what? What do you mean, no? There's no no. Oh, because you don't know the song. April 26th, 1992. Listen, I have a very passionate feelings about that song, actually, because I also, while I thought it was very cool that it was my birthday mistakenly, the title does not match the lyrics. And I just had like a weird thought, memory tied to that. But when I was dissecting the lyrics to the song, because it was about the Rodney King riots, I was listening to it and I was like, wow, this dude has big colonizer vibes. Like, this is kind of not cool. This is not a cool message. Like, You definitely missed the whole point, bro. It was absolutely not any of the shit that you just said. What the fuck? Not that I was there, but it's literally this white dude who's like, I decided to rob everyone because they were mad about Rodney King. And then in the end, they were like, it's not about being black. It's just because the police are bad. And it's like, but what? So you just gonna sit here and literally whitewash what happened to Rodney King as if you experienced the same kind of racial discrimination as a white man because you smoke weed. Like in California, no, 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 sir. Sir. I did not love it. I did not love it. I did a deep dive into that song. I actually made an episode of Stoned Current Events from the past about that. And that's when I realized, like, wasn't a great song and that he had a really terrible mindset. But now that I think about it, I never released that to the public. So I guess since I'm bringing it up right now, I will put it on my website with the other two episodes, even though it's a little more intense and I got super drunk. That's cool. When did that happen? I don't really trust Biden, but honestly, I'd rather he just like stay in office until his term is over instead of having like that cop woman take his place because it sounds really scary to have a cop for president. Um, but he kind of sucks. I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty radical over here. I'm like an anarchist, I guess. At the end of the day, humanitarian is the only way to describe it. Oh, yeah, I don't pay the fuck attention, apparently. I guess it's ignorance. And trust me, I ain't living in bliss. Fresh baked. What a great screen cap. That is amazing. Alright. That's what I want, actually. So cool. Dun, dun, dun. Oh my god, that's such a good screen cap. I'm so blessed. Dun, 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 dun. What do you mean sharp? Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Oh my god, I'm obsessed with his fucking screen cap. That is so funny. That's amazing. Cool. So I just posted the third episode of Stone Current Events on my website. There's only 3 episodes, so maybe I get around to doing more. There will be more someday, but for now, all 3 of the ones that I made are posted. Oh, hell yeah, I do. You lost me at the last bit. It should be acknowledged, but it doesn't have to be accepted. Like, experience is the whole process of living, in a sense, where in order to have an effective system, it has to be based on the experience of a majority to a certain extent. Otherwise, it's always going to fail to meet its needs or create its own standard, right? Whether it's a personal experience or a collective experience is where it has to be considered. But the very initiative would suggest that it must be accepted, in a sense. But I don't know. Maybe I don't understand. Oh, wait a minute. But you know what's interesting? I feel like there's going to be a passing. Wow, I feel like I'm uncovering, like, this is so interesting not to go. Well, yeah, sort of. But then I guess if we're looking on the macro scale of, like, you know, because we were initially talking about politics, or that's where the originating opinion conversation came from, right? And ultimately, what you were stating in the very beginning was your acceptance of such differences. So at the end of the day, I think that it's not even agree to disagree as much as it's like, are we disagreeing even though ultimately we agree? Because I find that 90% of conversations that people have tend to be like that. Where it's like, do we actually want the same thing but have 2 different roads to get there? And they're like, wow, maybe. Maybe. Perhaps we do. Who knows? What's right for you might not be right for me, but who's right if we all just agree that doing what you need to do is doing what's best by doing what's right for you and then seeing how you can help anyone else. Yeah. You know, it's so funny and this is so random and I think that's so valid. Okay, now I feel like, are you just. No, I'm just kidding. Are you being sassy? No, I'm just kidding. You're not being sassy. Jesus. Um, like, I think I'm ready to make more music. I am also chaos. Yeah, no, I get that. Earth signs love shaking things up and being totally solidly, stably standing in their place while everything else gets flipped upside down. And then they are like, "Oh, don't worry, I can ground you. I will calm you. I'll get you back on your feet," even though they're the ones who like shook the table and whatnot. Agents of chaos, especially Taurus, seems to be especially emphasis on the chaos thing because of like the world leaders, I guess. So toxic. So toxic. Um, yeah, we're all toxic in our own way. And part of the reason I was emphasizing that whole spiritual to alt-right pipeline this week is because I heard something in a reading where it was like basically saying like toxic men are men who are too in touch with their femininity. And I was like, damn, this is exactly how it starts. This is exactly how it happens. You carry on with some bullshit like that where, oh, a man's problem isn't a man's problem, it's a woman's problem. And so you just get used to this idea that, first of all, feminine and masculine energies are assigned to the same gender roles that are in the human world, which they are not. And two, that a masculine or man's problem is once again inherently because of or from a feminine or woman. Fuck that. Fuck no. Fuck this stupid bullshit. Let's take our not scheduled ad break and I can talk more about it. We'll talk more about it. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. This is where first you lost me at men and women. Second, once again, feminine and masculine energies don't have to follow the identity of man and woman. When in tarot or astrology, feminine would be water and earth, and masculine would be fire and air. So, especially you as someone who is like male but also is perceived as feminine should be even more understanding of like, sure, there can be an obvious difference and it can definitely start and end at biology, but even if you should start and end at biology, then you must admit biologically there are three genders, and I think that that's something that no one ever talks about. There's female, male, and there's intersect or what we once called hermaphrodite. There are three genders, regardless. Like, there are people who are born binary, both. Like, so there's three genders. So you have to start there if you're going to start anywhere, especially on this channel. Um, and I don't mean three genders, I mean three sexes, because that's the other complication is that sex and gender are two different things. So biologically speaking, right, there's way more genders, but there's three sexes. And that's the only thing you can say about biology is that there's three sexes. And it's like, sure, men can be ascribed to male, but the difference between like gender and sex is two different things. And even when you take the social norms out of the conversation, they teach you that in biology as well. So there's three sexes, an infinite amount of genders. So who cares who calls what now? Doesn't fucking matter. Call me by my damn name, or I'll make you call me Yes, my queen, Illuminati mistakes every single time you dress me. I don't even get what you're saying, kind of. Anyway, um, pretty open-minded about stuff. I think we're at a weird time in the span of human mind, the scale of evolution. Evolution's been a heavy topic of conversation this month because it is something that is happening to us, within us, around us, and during our existence. However, we won't really be able to analyze the data that we are living until we move away from it 100 or 1,000, maybe 2,000 years from now, when people are able to look back and compare where human beings are at in an evolutionary stance now compared to where they will be 2,000 years from now. So, like, actively, we are evolving and we just have no idea how and in what ways. And so, it's better to be open minded about people who want to progress things forward or do things in their own way because we are forging new paths and be able to simply evolve and carry on with evolution in the same way that we were once Neanderthal and we've come this far. We have no idea if Homo sapiens will evolve again, and we won't know until it happens, right? LOL, you shouldn't have to do mandatory meetings at work explaining LGBTQ sexuality. However, after the decades of repression of LGBTQ culture and communities, people have no idea how to speak on it or to people who fall under those categories. So you can thank your own straight people um, for that one. It's not the gays that need to have that conversation, it's the straights. If y'all knew how to act in the first place and didn't complain about the kissing on TV, you could have been caught up if you would have just taken it in your media and learned on your own and then be like, oh, okay, cool. Now I understand why it's not okay to say slur words or ask weird questions or assume that this person's going to be uncomfortable and attracted to me just because they like the same gender as themselves. Like, I might be a fucking idiot. That's why people have to have meetings. Shouldn't have looked the other way. You know what I mean? Like, the gays are not asking for those meetings. No one wants to be put on the spot and outed like that. Like, there are probably the younger generation who's trying to figure themselves out and wants to establish themselves a certain way in the workplace and, like, take charge and ownership of their identity, and there is that certain youth about it that I think can be frustrating, especially in pertaining to a workplace or even in a more whole way across the board within the community, right? But gays have the same issues where it's like everyone's like pride should be a family event and other people are like pride has always been a sex party. What the fuck are you talking about? Don't bring your kids to a goddamn sex party. So it's like it's everybody is trying to figure out the best way to deal with these things because suddenly it's not okay to hate queers, and the fact that people complain about the fact that they're being educated on how to not hate queers is kind of funny. But I'm just one of them fairy boys. So uh, gender. I have no age. I have no face. So who else is watching? Someone fell asleep. At least 2 people fell asleep. I can't tell if you are showing your true colors or if you're testing my waters just because, like out of boredom. Either way, I guess I don't care. Yeah, it's definitely been had because it's like once again been seen on TV and discussed in schools and is part of sex education class, and that's not been the case for queer sexuality. Get it? There's been less resources, less education, less time spent on it. You knew everything about sex by the time you had it. Gay people don't get that luxury. They have to just go explore and find it. And like, there's a lot of predatory behavior that comes with that because it's so repressed of a culture. And just because it's mainstream now doesn't mean we are automatically caught up on the way we educate people or even like youths act like you didn't fuck around in high school or at least want to, right? Like, that's why. By the time you're an adult and in the workforce, it's like, yeah, y'all never learned this shit in school, so instead of asking the fucking local person about like fucking their sexuality or identity or whatever, you know, like you have years and decades and just endless amounts of research based on your sexual nature and needs, whereas the other side does not, right? I don't know what you mean by sex versus relationships. I think it's both. I think it's all of it. Name one mainstream comedy that integrated a full time, openly gay couple before Modern Family. Name one. Openly gay, not gay coded, not presumed gay, not quietly gay, not gay in one episode, not a side character, but a main character plot. Name one show before Modern Family that had a gay couple that was a lead or a major part of the plot and was relevant in every episode. I can't think of anything. Not a goddamn thing. And Modern Family's pretty new, right? 2009 at the very earliest. Yeah, 2009. Even Frasier wasn't gay. Like, how is Frasier not gay? Like, Barney also not gay. Why was Barney not gay? Not Barney the dinosaur, but. Okay, good point. Good point. I was like genuinely trying to think of something. But how that. Okay, is there anything in between those two things? And, hear this, they were never in relationships. Big part of the show is that Will and Grace are both single. Jack has a series of suitors, but is there actually a gay couple in that show? No. Oh, man. There is not, at any point, a stable relationship amongst the gays in that show. So, still, Modern Family. Exactly though, but in Modern Family, it's just a gay couple. They're married. They have a kid. They are integrated into life. You know what I'm saying? And Will and Grace was like, oh, the gays, they just sleep around and date each other, and have unstable home lives. And then, like, doesn't he end up having a baby? Oh, spoiler alert. I don't remember. This came out so long ago. Yeah, so like has there been something before Modern Family that was just like it's fine being gay is like you can have a normal life and just want to be like monogamous and have a family like anyone else. There was nothing before 2009. Can you think of anything else? Will and Grace was a great counterpoint, and then when we actually think about it, it still doesn't hold up. They were gay characters. They were not couples. Damn, that's crazy because I never really gave it that much thought until we had this conversation, and it's like, damn, bro, actually, that's a great point. And that's why if you would have just had like a gay show, you could have just already known all the stuff that they have to teach you at work now. But there was no resource, there was no access, there was no way to educate you before you were in the moment. And every time two men kiss on TV, it's like a taboo thing still. You know what I mean? Okay. And like, speaking of pop culture, fuck pop culture. Let's talk cult classics, okay? Because I think about Tim Curry so much being Dr. Frankenfurter and a time where like his acting career was it was very early on, but he was very much a Broadway star, I think at that, but not necessarily a Broadway star, but a Broadway actor, and that's why it was an easy transition to go from stage to film, where he had been doing more film roles, but his breakout role was Rocky Horror Picture Show in 1975. A lot of this is just memory. I don't know. You'd have to look it up. He's alive. This is not a channel message, but God, I really hope he lives for a while. But Rocky Horror Picture Show is such a big jump, and to be still recognized and honored as like a queer icon for doing that role because he is in drag. It's like horror drag, and it's like so early on where there's always been, I don't know, but once again, it's very taboo culture in that movie where it's not a great look necessarily for like gay or trans people, but it's cool that there was any content that represented any kind of queerness, right? And in the end, it works out for some people, but it's just really cool that to this day he's never addressed the topic of sexuality in regards to any of his relationships. They've all been secret or non existent. He is an Aries, so I have a feeling that he's just like literally never been in a relationship because like a lot of Aries are just like, I'm good on my own. I feel like that's a big fucking Aries tendency, maybe even fire sign tendency, until they find each other. So, just kind of a funny thing to think about. But yeah, I thought it was really cool that he was just like willing to put it all out there and be like, fuck it, I'll let people think what they want. I'm never gonna correct anyone. And he's like 75 now and like just keeping going. You know, just like so cool. Um, but yeah, wow. I'm gonna be thinking about that Modern Family thing for a while. And that's a pretty good show too. I've only seen like a few episodes. I kind of want to watch it straight through, but you really can't watch too much of it because it's like so ridiculous that it's just like it's too funny. Where it's like, all right, I'm kind of sick of just laughing every 30 seconds. I don't know. Slapstick, I guess. It's like the most slapstick that I kind of get into. But wow, we can't really think of a fucking TV show about a stable gay couple that predates 2009. Wild. And it's so funny because there's so many opportunities that you could have had. Like, yeah. Yeah, like I said, I tried to watch like like a few episodes in a row and it was just like too much for me, but it's so funny. It's really good. But it's not. I prefer stuff like X-Files. And like, okay, that's the thing in X Files. There's like this whole conspiracy that Mulder is trans, right? And that's why it's like, don't call me Fox, call me Mulder. Even my parents call me Mulder because he's like trans, you know. Um, and then I think about like living single too for some reason. Like Maxine and Kyle is just like so like why they're like the perfect like queer couple. Like she gives such like non-binary lesbian vibes and he gives off like big stuck-up gay vibes, but like instead they were supposed to be like two straight people that like will they won't they when they could have just been yeah, like didn't have cable. I don't know. We are living single. I like love. Oh my god, that's the thing. I loved Kyle, and it's like if I had a crush on him, probably fucking gay. So there was plenty of queer coded characters in television, but there was not any dominating queer relationships. Yeah, I think it. I don't know what channel it was on, but it was not cable. Um, it was probably I don't know. I don't want to say it must have been UPN, but I couldn't think of what else it was. What's WE? I remember the WB. What's WE? Yeah, UPN and WB, and then like ABC and Fox or whatever. Like those are the choices. Um, because I also watched Seventh Heaven growing up, going to Catholic school, watching like the religious television show because it was like the only television that we were allowed to talk about at school. Um, yeah, UPN channel UPN 50. They used to have like the intermission things. Like God, my photographic memory is wild. Let me roll my ad break and then we'll either go back to talking about goofy shit or get into some tarot. You decide. In 60 seconds while I eat probably more graham crackers or something. Okay, I upgraded. I did peanut butter and butter and this like chocolate granola stuff. Y'all, oh my god. Oh my god. First of all, what the fuck is creamy peanut butter for? I'll never understand. Why would you not want to chew your food? It's fucking disgusting. It's weird. and will never get down with that. Okay, next thing though, did you ever eat peanut butter and butter sandwiches? Or what was that about? Is that like a white people thing? What was going on there? Jelly was probably always an option, but like sometimes it was just peanut butter and butter. Was it just me? My grandma would do it. I'd be like, yo, love this shit. Where'd she get that from? Is that what the Italians do? I don't know. ASMR. Sorry, no one watches me eat for free. What kind of slut would I be then? What do you mean? Bro, that's my new favorite thing to eat, man. I kind of wish that loving bad bitches was my fucking problem. You know what I mean? That kind of sounds awesome. I wish that there were bad bitches to love. Okay. Um. Oh. I love jelly. I actually would eat jelly sandwiches sometimes because, like, I don't get down with creamy peanut butter. I'd be like, you know what? Honestly, if there's no crunch, I don't want it. Thank you. Just jelly for me, please. Yeah, that'd be great. Um, Ham and cheese for me. Ham and cheese. I, yeah, I don't even know. I PB&J when I got older was like more because I was a vegetarian, in high school. Ew, sounds disgusting. That sounds really bad. Like really, really bad. It's really funny to see those posts of like what kids around the world eat at school, and it's like, damn, I fucking wish that I was getting fucking meals like that. Well balanced and shit, looking out for their best interest, healthy and fresh. Oh my god, can you imagine? No. Cold cheese and moist toasted bread. That sounds terrible. Truly terrible. Truly would want nothing to do with it. Um, what's up, y'all? Should I do these cards? I kind of want to go. It's not even that I'm bored, but that feeling of me being tired, I just feel tired. Am I gonna do these cards? And go to sleep? And dream about sheep? That Paula Cole song featuring Peter Gabriel. I'm a big fan of music. I think I'm gonna make some music this week. I think that's gonna be a goal of mine. And I'm gonna let myself sleep as long as I want to. I slept pretty late today. I mean, I had alcohol and like 3, 4 people channel messages last night, and the 7 people the night before. Man. But I do have these cards on the table, but I do feel like it was more about the conversation because it is like I shuffled and then I cut the deck 4 times, and there's 4 face cards just facing up. So it feels very much like some kind of orchestration of a family situation and people working together in tandem, or also waiting for the passing of a patriarch figure, as terrible as it sounds, but then like underneath was the youth and healing. So the real healing comes when this person or this figure falls, basically, which seems kind of ominous in a sense, but beneath it is the Queen of Earth, okay? So it's one of those things where perhaps if you have fallen, not so mighty were ye in the first place, huh? Um, I don't know if I really want to get into it though. You know what I'm saying? I'm not really sure I'm in the mood to like give this reading, even though I've been saying all night that I was going to do this, and I said last night I was going to do it. I don't know if I'm really that into this twin flame journey right now, and maybe the whole point is that it is supposed to be more towards doing a channeled alien message than it is about the twin flame reading, and it's more me being drawn to the mystery deck. I just don't know if I've got it in me to work that in, especially because I feel like I'm about to start sneezing again. We had some good conversations. I think I'm gonna go. I think I'm gonna go relax. I think that's how I'm gonna end my weekend. Full moon, I release the need to fulfill any duties or, desires, even if they are my own. Reflect on that. What do you want to release for this cycle that we are in, this new full moon, this new moon coming up, the reset of its cycles? What do you want to get out of it? What do you want to leave behind or release or what have you? Stuff to think about uh, as you carry on throughout this day. Okay, I think I'm just too tired for this right now. I gotta go blow my nose again. I love you guys. Thank you for being here. I appreciate all of you very much. I'm gonna leave these cards on the table to see if maybe I'm more in the mood to read them tomorrow. I'm glad we could more or less touch base tonight. This was not much of a stream, though I did enjoy the conversation, and I hope that people got something out of it and they can at least get to know me on a more personal or human level by tapping into some of my mind's ideas. So either way, I appreciate it. Thank you for tuning in. I am going to leave these cards out and on the table as they are, and I'm going to push them in. But I think I'm just going to go relax. I'm going to go sleep. I'm going to go blow my nose 600 more times. Like, I don't know what the congestion is, but there's a reason that this reading is getting blocked tonight. I'll tell you that much. I'll probably just have like an increasing amount of energy this week and then have like peak energy for the month, and then it'll start to decline again over the next 2 weeks. So look forward to it. Probably going to do a shit ton of readings in the coming week because that's usually how the ebb and flow goes. So gonna roll out with some ads. I appreciate y'all once again. I will be back tomorrow evening. Take a Tuesday off this week, and I will catch y'all later. And remember, you can go on my website and I will do a personal reading at any time. It's a pre-recorded video, so it's no effort on your part, no scheduling required. You can purchase the reading. Thank you, Soda Pop. I thought you'd been here before because we did the whole bit about Golden Pony Boy. Maybe it was someone else. You can always book a personal reading on my website. I'll just drop the link, might as well. And you can do a whole bunch of other stuff over there too, like watch my show, read my blogs, buy my shit, listen to my music while I'm not here on the stream doing tarot for you. And if you do want to see some of my past readings, you can now purchase them on Patreon or watch some of what's posted on YouTube. So thank you for tuning in. I'm gonna go and see you again very soon, as tomorrow will be here in a matter of hours. yours. It's actually already today. So I love you once more, once again. Thanks for tuning in. Check out some of my other stuff in the meantime. And I will see you all again very soon. I love you. Good night and good luck.